Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and today I am really excited because we are going to be talking about something Christmas themed. I have on this really cute holiday sweater I actually got last year and never got to wear. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's like this sort of sequined reindeer, and you can barely see it because I have in hair extensions, so I have so much hair it's just like a tan sweater. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Christmas demon Krampus. With the holidays around the corner and with the kind of announcement I'm going to make in this video, I wondered what I could do that is spooky but also fits well into the holiday season. Number one, I really wanted to have up my holiday decor in the background of this video. I am really going to change up pretty much everything in my apartment for Christmas and the holidays, but unfortunately I'm a slowpoke and I didn't order anything in time to get here for this video, but things have been ordered, so look out for that. If you are someone who watches my channel on a daily basis or a weekly basis, or if you watch a lot of my videos, stay tuned until the end for a really exciting announcement about what is going to be happening all of December. But for now, I really want to get into the Christmas demon Krampus. And technically, he's not totally a demon, and according to most folklore, he's half goat and half demon. I don't know how you can have both of those things in your bloodstream, but he does. You guys are gonna think this is ridiculous, but I originally heard about Krampus through a Family Guy episode, I believe. Was it Family Guy? No, it was actually American Dad. I knew it was one of the two. So that was actually how I originally heard of Krampus, was through one of the American Dad Christmas episodes. And I remember watching this episode and thinking that is so weird that they came up with all of that, and I wound up researching more into it. I realized it's actually a really common folklore that has been passed around for a long time, and actually my dad told me his parents used to scare him with the idea of Krampus. There was a Krampus movie a few years ago, there has been like a Krampus musical, but who exactly is he and where did he come from? Well, Krampus is supposed to be the exact polar opposite of Santa Claus. He comes to punish the bad children, and you would have thought that maybe Santa Claus delivering, you know, lumps of coal would be punishment enough, but not in Krampus's eyes. Krampus looks a lot like a goat who can stand on two legs in some cultures, and in some kind of depictions of him, he often has chains, which people think is kind of alluding to the devil. He is evil, and he is often described as evil. I mean, he wants to punish children. It's difficult to say exactly where Krampus comes from or where he kind of originated. He is believed to be a pre-Christian notion, so before Christianity was ever even developed, he has kind of been in existence. I'm gonna read you a little something from an article published back in 1958 by Maurice Bruce, and it is written, "There seems to be little doubt as to his true identity, for in no other form is the full regalia of the horned god of the witches so well preserved. The chains could have been introduced in a Christian attempt to bind the devil, but again they could be a remnant of pagan initiation rites." So this is just sort of going over his appearance and what he's meant to represent. He's supposed to be the polar opposite of Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, in every single way. Whereas Saint Nicholas is good and wants to give the good children good things and happiness and bring them joy on Christmas, Krampus wants to make the bad children's life a living hell. So the Feast of Saint Nicholas is actually celebrated in some parts of Europe on December the 6th. So on December the 5th, there is not a holiday, but a day known as Krampusnacht or Krampus night, and this is the night that Krampus runs wild. Sometimes Krampus will be accompanied by Saint Nicholas, and sometimes he will be alone, but basically he goes to homes and businesses, and while Saint Nicholas visits the good children and gives them gifts, Krampus punishes the bad ones. So in some ways, sometimes, depending on the culture, depending on the version of the story that you're looking at, Krampus is seen as a like accompanied sort of yin-yang thing to Santa Claus himself. And then in other times, he's just pure evil and totally on his own. It is customary to offer Krampus some kind of schnapps or liqueur, and I think that's really funny just for so many reasons, but apparently it's customary to do this sometime during the winter solstice. If you are worried he's gonna come for you, you may want to leave him a drink. I've told you a lot about how Krampus comes for the bad children, but what exactly happens when he comes for them? You might be asking. And it's kind of different for every culture again, but in a lot of cultures, it's thought that Krampus eats the children. That's one of the more extreme cases, and Krampus carries a stick of birch with him, which again kind of points back to some religious significance depending on the way that you look at it, but regardless, he carries a stick of branch with him in a lot of his appearances, and either he will beat the kids with this or he will basically put them into a bag and haul them off to his lair where they will be tortured and eaten. Moral of this story is just to be a good kid, but I remember my dad actually telling me about Krampus, and this wasn't until I was much older. My parents never told me about Krampus or anything like that. They just told me that if I was a bad kid, Santa would put coal in my stocking. And one year when I was particularly bad, Santa did put coal in my stocking. My parents worked at a church, so we were always at church pretty much like Christmas Eve night through all of Christmas Day for different services and stuff like that. After the Christmas Eve service, my brother and I always got to open one gift. We would get to open our stocking some years we got to open one present of our choosing, as long as it wasn't our big gift of the year. One year I had been really spoiled rotten. I think it was the year I was like 7 or maybe it was 8. I opened my stocking and there was coal inside, and I remember crying and telling my parents that I was so sorry. I'd been such a brat all year, and I had been a brat at church that night and everything, and they told me that if I made sure to be a good kid for the rest of the year, maybe Santa would come back and leave my gifts. And I remember that night I apologized profusely. I cleaned up after myself. I was such a good kid and I promised to be good for the rest of the year. And then that night, actually, I heard little pitter patters of reindeer feet on the roof. And the next day I woke up to find presents under the tree from Santa Claus. And it was pretty great and a great learning experience, because I was a good kid that year, you best believe. My parents never told me about Krampus or that he was going to come and kill and torture and eat me or anything like that. But actually my dad's parents were, they were hard parents. My dad's dad was in the military most of his life. He was a very like kind of stern, not very like lovey-dovey sort of guy, if that makes sense. So my grandparents used to tell my dad that Krampus would come for him if he was a bad kid. So my dad usually did his chores throughout the year because he did not want Krampus, the Christmas demon, to come after him, for sure. No way. The reason for that is probably that my dad's family was German, so it's a lot more prevalent in Europe, Krampuses anyways, and continues to be. There are festivals celebrating the arrival of Krampus. These festivals, whether or not they fall on December 5th, as mentioned previously as Krampusnacht, often feature people of all walks of life, of any gender, of everything, dressing up as Krampus. And anyone can dress up as Krampus, anyone can wear the costume. Most have thick fur, sharp horns, cloven hooves. I've never said hooves in my life, it's hooves. Fangs and a long pointy tongue. They usually wear loud bells and chains, which they thrash about for effect, and carry a whip or birch branches. They also brandish a basket or sack of some sort meant to transport kids to hell or the nearest river. Most alpine towns feature an annual Krampuslauf or Krampus run. It usually takes place on December 5th, the night before the feast of St. Nicholas. Krampus runs have had issues with drunken Krampuses getting a little too into character by chasing people across town and beating them with sticks. The scary thing is you never know who's hiding behind those masks. Imagine being warned all year long that if you are a bad child, Krampus is going to come for you. And then there is a festival in your town where drunken Krampuses are running around. No thank you. There are so many different things that people in different cultures do, and I highly encourage you to sort of look it up for yourself if you are curious, because I do think it's a really interesting story. I've actually never watched the Krampus movie, so I think I'm gonna go and do that before the start of the holidays. But If you all enjoyed, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, because, drumroll please, I will be doing Vlogmas on my channel this year, and I have not decided what that means yet. I would love to upload every day of December if you guys want me to, but I do think that's a lot. So right now, I'm kind of tentatively saying it's until Christmas, which is technically what Vlogmas is, but I may upload all the way through December. Recently, I've been trying not to go more than like a day or two without posting a video, and I just find myself so much more connected to you guys, so much more excited about YouTube, and happier pretty much every day of my life, because a lot of you probably know this. It's hard to work from home, and it's hard to be your own boss and to say, okay, Lo, today we're gonna make a YouTube video, and no one will see it for a week or a month, or in some cases multiple months, depending on what I'm working on. So for me, it's really therapeutic to feel like I'm coming to work every day, even though my work is literally just hanging out with my best friends. I think that it's really therapeutic and very motivating for me. I do have a lot going on this month, but I don't want that to be an excuse. I just want to try to hang out with you guys every day. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that is currently what is going on. I'm either uploading until December 25th or I'm uploading until December 31st. I'm not sure which yet. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like I said, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because we have so much coming up. I love you all so much. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.